Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a video on my debt. So if you're interested in debt and consolidation loans and things like that, then keep on watching and remember to subscribe down below. So basically today I'm going to be talking about our debt that we had accrued as we're not going to talk about my mortgage or car finance because I've kind of kept those as separate debts that most people would see as like normal debt or like good debt or whatever. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a finance person, so I don't have the lingo, I don't have the knowledge. So if you do have financial questions, I would suggest going to a financial advisor or citizens advice for any advice on that kind of stuff. But today I'm going to talk you through our debt that we had accrued. So basically I've done a little breakdown here so you can see all of my debts, all of my partner's debts, and then the total at the bottom here. So we're just going to go through my debts first. Some of these are shared, but I'll get to that when we get to it. So the first one is PayPal credit. I had a limit of £200 on my PayPal credit and I was up at £163 at the time of getting the consolidation loan. With Argos credit, I had £334.80 on there. I think I had a limit of like 500, but I'd got to the point where I was starting to pay interest because I'd done the 0% interest for, I think it was 6 months. And I had done that a few times with Argos, paid off the full amount before any interest was accrued. But the past like few months at the end of the year was really tough. We were short on cash. We hadn't saved up for Christmas at all. So Christmas was coming and everything just got really dear. So I had stopped making my regular payments because I didn't have to pay interest at the time. So that was pretty high. Capital One was a credit card that I had at £583.12. I think my limit was £750 on that card. This was a shared debt. We'd got some house stuff on it. My partner used it when he had to travel for work. And then the work paid him back and he put it back on there. So yeah, that was a bit of a shared debt that I had in my name. Overdraft, I had £350 in my overdraft. At the time of doing this, I wasn't fully in it. I probably had like 250, but by the end of the month, it would have been at 350 like it normally was. And then house overdraft. If you'd seen my other video, you'll know that I have two bank accounts, one for my personal finances and one for our shared finances, but it is just in my name. And on that card, I had £500 overdraft that we got pretty much to the wire on every month. So that was starting to become a problem because there wasn't an account buffer building up at all. We were just constantly in the overdraft, constantly worrying that I would have to apply for a bigger overdraft and so on. So my total debts in my name came to £1,930.92, which I think when you see the small amounts and it's only like a handful of debts, you don't think it's going to be that much, or at least I didn't think it was going to be that much. But nearly £2,000, so that's quite terrifying. I'm going to move on to my partner's debts now. So he had PayPal credit as well, and that was up at £436.10. I'm pretty sure he used PayPal credit to pay for my engagement ring and a few other things, but I feel like when you start only paying the minimum payments, you don't get anywhere on these kind of loans, so that was a part of his problem. Capital One as well, £385.16. I'm not sure what limits he had on these accounts, but he's gave me the totals here. PC Finance was £1,269.80, and then his overdraft he had at £2,000, which he would be fully in at the end of every month, which was a problem because he doesn't get paid £2,000, so he was never above zero for probably the past like 3 years. Yeah, that was a problem. So overall his was £4,091.06. So our both debts added together was £6,021.98. So what we decided to do was, we had a big discussion about it, deciding whether, like, my partner thought I should just take out a loan for myself, he should take out a loan for himself, to cover the debts, and then we're just paying our own loan. But when he looked into getting a loan, he didn't have as good a credit as me through the bank, and he would have had to pay a higher interest. So to me, it just made sense. We're currently engaged, we own a house together, it made sense to do the debt together as well. It's not really an issue for me personally. I know people will probably have opinions about that, but anyways, so we decided to get a consolidation loan through my bank, one of my banks, for £6,000. So that left £21.98 unaccounted for by the loan, but I've just used, so basically £21.98 came off of my overdraft full amount. So all of the debts got paid apart from my overdraft in full. But it's okay because I wasn't even fully in it at the time, so it was all fine. Everything got paid off in full, and it put us in a really good place. So next I'm just going to talk about how the loan is breaking down money wise. So as you can see here, we took £6,000 over 42 months. So I basically sat on the when I was applying, they had like a little loan calculator, and you could calculate how much repayments you would have over a certain amount of months, like before you applied for anything. So I sat and done that and made sure that it was an amount that I was comfortable repaying. Basically, I wanted it to be under £200 because I knew that, if you can see on this first page here, I was paying £30 in PayPal credit and £30 to Argos at least, and £30 to Capital One. So those payments alone, that was £90. So that's basically my half would be paid if we were doing it half and half. So that's what I was thinking, is I already pay that amount, why not just do it for this loan? So that's why it's taken over 3.5 years. It's got an 18%, I think it's 18 point something, 0.4 maybe, percent interest, which means that we'll be repaying £8,014 and 2 pence if we don't add any extra payments in. But I'm going to show you the debt breakdown for the year of what we've paid so far in January. We've not paid our February amount yet because I don't get paid till the middle of February, so that'll come next week. But we basically are going to be paying as much repayments, like extra, as we can, just so as we don't need to pay this full amount of interest. I know you need to pay like 55 days worth of interest at the end if you pay it off early, but to me that seems worth it. I might sit and do the calculations on that to make sure it's financially worth it at the moment, but for now we're going with it. So the next thing is our repayments. So as you've seen on the first page that I showed you guys, that I was basically covered 2,000 and my partner had 4,000 of the loan. So instead of doing it half and half like we do with everything else pretty much, I decided that we would do it on the basis of what we owe to the loan. So I owe a third, and Nick owes 2/3. I think that's fair. I think at the time he's earning more money than me. Obviously things may change and we may need to help each other out and whatever. But at the moment that's what we're sticking with. So I worked it out. A third of £190.81 is just under £64, and 2/3 is just under £127. So we're actually paying £191 into my personal account, and all the payments come out on the first of the month, which is quite good because my partner gets paid at the end of the month, so he'll pay his money in then, and I'll still have the money in my personal account to cover that loan. When I get paid, it's when I work out my budget, what needs to come out, my phone bill, the house bills, all my bills, the loan, and then I see what I've got left over and what I can put to an extra payment, bearing in mind that I'm also saving for driving lessons. So I'm trying to walk the line of what I'm saving, what I'm putting towards debt, but I do want to get this done as soon as possible. So I'm just going to quickly show you my tracker that I've made to track the loan payments. So this is my loan tracker here. I've just done all the months down the side and a payment category, an extra payment for me, an extra payment for my partner, the closing balance, and the amount of months that are left to be paid. So obviously we started with 42 months. We paid the set amount. I paid £100 extra. My partner paid none extra, and we're closing with £5,789.82 left to be paid on the loan as of the end of January. And we actually managed to knock 2 months out just by paying that extra £100, which I think is crazy because the set amount is £190.81. So it's crazy to me that an extra £100 takes a whole month away. Yeah, when you go in to pay the loan, it gives you a little calculator and you can put in, if I pay £50 right now, how much interest will I save myself in the long run, which I found really interesting when I was working out whether to pay £50 extra, £100 extra. When I seen that a month would be taken off if I paid £100, I was like, yes, I'm doing that right now. I'm just going to continue this for the year. Obviously we're meant to have this loan for 3.5 years, but this tracker is just for this year to see how quickly we can get it down. I would love to be ending the year like with 25 months to go. I feel like that's a stretch. I don't know if we would be able to make that, but possible, I think. Maybe even 24. Like if we could take the 6 months off it, that would be brilliant. But we'll see how we go. Bills are going up, so I'm not too worried with it taking 3.5 years to pay off. But yeah, that's my wee tracker, and that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you found it interesting and can relate to being in debt or relate to getting out of debt. It's a journey, especially when all the stuff's going on in the world right now. It's a stressful time, but I'd love to just be able to focus on my savings. I feel like I'm doing so well with my savings. The debt is holding me back. So that's basically what I'm trying to get to in the long run. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and ring the bell on the channel so you can be notified for our next video. I'm going to be doing a cash stuffing very, very soon. I get paid on Friday this week, so it won't be long before a cash stuffing is out for you guys. Thank you so much. Goodbye.